10 Things Every Child with Autism Wishes You Knew by Ellen Nuttbaum, South Florida Parenting. Some days it seems like the only predictable thing about it is the unpredictability. The only consistent attribute, the inconsistency. There is little argument on any level but that autism is baffling, even to those who spend their lives around it. The child who lives with autism may look normal, but his or her behavior can be perplexing and downright difficult. Today, the citadel of autism, once thought an incurable disorder, is cracking around the foundation. Every day, individuals with autism show us that they can overcome, compensate for, and otherwise manage many of the condition's most challenging aspects. Equipping those around our children with a simple understanding of autism's most basic elements has a tremendous effect on the children's journey towards productive, independent adulthood. Autism is an extremely complex disorder, but we can distill it down to 3 critical components: sensory processing difficulties, speech-language delays and impairments, and whole-child social interaction issues. There are 10 things that every child with autism wishes you knew. My name is Bill Metcalf. I'm reading this for Ellen Nuttbaum. I'm about to go into an IEP meeting with our staff here in my community. And one of the things I realized in our IEP meetings is that Max, my son, never gets a voice. He never gets to speak in his IEP meetings. So when I read this article by Ellen, it just seemed to me that I wanted to share this with the people in my IEP and give Max a voice. So as you listen to this, and I'll do my best to keep myself contained going through it, because as I read it as a parent, I found it very emotional. And I just had to think about what Max was thinking when he would be saying these. I think most of these are pretty true for Max. So here we have it. 10 things every child with autism wishes you knew. Number 1. I am a child with autism. I am not autistic. My autism is one aspect of my total character. It does not define me as a person. Are you a person with thoughts, feelings, and many talents? Or are you just fat, overweight, myopic, wear glasses, or klutzy, uncoordinated, not good at sports? Number 2. My sensory perceptions are disordered. This means that the ordinary sights, sounds, smells, and tastes and touch of everyday life that you may not even notice can be downright painful to me. The very environment in which I live often seems hostile. I may appear withdrawn or belligerent to you, but I am really just trying to defend myself. A simple trip to the grocery store may be hell for me. My hearing may be hyperacute. Dozens of people are talking at once. The loudspeaker booms today's special. Muzak whines from the sound system. Cash registers beep and cough. The coffee grinder is chugging. The meat cutter screeches. Babies are wailing. Carts are creaking. The fluorescent light is humming. My brain can't filter all the input. I'm on overload. My sense of smell may be highly sensitive. The fish at the meat counter isn't quite fresh. The guy standing next to us, he hasn't showered today. The deli is handing out sausage samples. The baby in line ahead of us has a poopy diaper. They're mopping up pickles on aisle 3 with ammonia. I can't sort it all out. I'm too nauseous. Because I'm visually oriented, this may be my first sense to become overstimulated. The fluorescent light is too bright. It makes the room pulsate and hurts my eyes. Sometimes the pulsating light bounces off everything and distorts what I'm seeing. The space seems to be constantly changing. There's glare from the windows, moving fans on the ceiling, so many bodies in constant motion, too many items for me to be able to focus, and I may compensate with tunnel vision. All this affects my vestibular sense. Now, I can't even tell where my body is in space. I may stumble, bump into things, or I may simply lay down and try to regroup. Number 3. Please remember to distinguish between won't, I choose not to, and can't, I'm not able to. Receptive and expressive language are both difficult for me. It isn't that I won't listen to instructions, it's that I can't understand you. When you call me from the other side of the room, this is what I hear. Billy? Instead, Come speak to me in plain words. Please, put your book on the desk, Billy. It's time to go to lunch. This tells me what you want me to do and what is going to happen next. It's now much easier for me to comply. Number 4. I am a concrete thinker. I interpret language literally. It's very confusing for me when you say, "Hold your horses, cowboy," when what you really mean is, "Please stop running." Don't tell me something is a piece of cake when there's no dessert in sight. And what you really mean is, "This will be easy for you to do." When you say, "It's pouring cats and dogs," I see pets coming out of a pitcher. Please just tell me, "It's raining very hard." Idioms, puns, nuances, double entendres, and sarcasm, they're lost on me. Number 5. Be patient with my limited vocabulary. It's hard for me to tell you what I need when I don't know the words to describe my feelings. I may be hungry, frustrated, frightened, or confused, but right now those words are beyond my ability to express. Be alert for body language, withdrawal, agitation, or other signs that something is wrong. Well, there's a flip side to this. I may sound like a little professor or a movie star, rattling off words or whole scripts well beyond my developmental age. These are messages I have memorized from the world around me to compensate for my language deficits, because I know I'm expected to respond when spoken to. They may come from books, television, or the speech of other people. It's called echolalia. I don't necessarily understand the context or terminology I'm using. I just know it gets me off the hook for coming up with a reply. Number 6. Because language is so difficult for me, I am very visually oriented. Show me how to do something rather than just telling me. And please, be prepared to show me many times. Lots of patient repetition helps me learn. A visual schedule is very helpful as I move through the day. Like your day planner, it relieves me of the stress of having to remember what comes next, makes for smooth transitions between activities, and helps me manage my time and meet your expectations. Number 7, and this is a big one. Focus and build on what I can do, rather than what I can't do. Like any other human, I can't learn in an environment where I'm constantly made to feel that I'm not good enough or that I need fixing. Trying anything new when I'm almost sure to be met with criticism, however constructive it may be, becomes something to be avoided. Look for my strengths, and you'll find them. There's more than one right way to do most things. Number 8. Help me with social interactions. It may look like I don't want to play with other kids on the playground, but sometimes it's just that I simply don't know how to start a conversation or enter a play situation. If you can encourage other children to invite me to join them at kickball or shooting baskets, I may be delighted to be included. Number 9. Try to identify what triggers my meltdowns. This is called the antecedent. Meltdowns, blow-ups, tantrums, whatever you want to call them, they're even more hard for me than they are for you. They occur because one or more of my senses has gone into overload. If you can figure out why my meltdowns occur, they can be prevented. Number 10. If you are a family member, please love me unconditionally. Banish such thoughts as, "If he would just," and "Why can't she?" You didn't fulfill every last expectation your parents had for you, did you? And you wouldn't like being constantly reminded of it, would you? I didn't choose to have autism. Remember that it's happening to me, not you. Without your support, my chances of a successful, self-reliant adulthood are slim. With your support and guidance, the possibilities are broader than you might think. I promise you, I'm worth it. Sorry about that. My dad always has trouble reading that part. It all comes down to 3 words. Patience, patience, patience. Work to view my autism as a different ability rather than a disability. Look past what you may see as my limitations and see the gifts that autism has given me. I may not be good at eye contact or conversations, but have you noticed? I don't lie. I don't cheat at games. I don't tattle on my classmates. And I don't pass judgments on other people. You are my foundation. Think through some of those societal rules, and if they don't make sense for me, let them go. Be my advocate. Be my friend. And we'll see just how far I can go. I probably won't be the next Michael Jordan, but with my attention to fine detail and capacity for extraordinary focus, I might be the next Einstein, or Mozart, or Van Gogh. They had autism too. Thanks for listening. Now, back to my dad. This story was written by freelance writer and consultant Ellen Nuttbaum, who is a columnist for the Autism Asperger's Digest and a co-author of 1001 Great Ideas for Teaching and Raising Children with Autism Spectrum Disorders from Future Horizons. She favors common-sense approaches to raising her sons with autism and ADHD. She lives in Oregon. Thanks for listening.